Hey everyone, it is Dan Charles with DailyCoin, and it is April 21st, Wednesday, and it's time for trade of the day. So let's take a look and see. So today it's MKR is really the breakout trade of the day. But before we get to that, let's take a quick look at yesterday's. Okay, so we were looking at Monero. And I was saying that I was bullish, but I think we're going to pull back on Monero. And I gave a bunch of reasons why that is the case. I thought we'd break 400, drop below 400. You can see we did pull back, but we also held this 375 low. So that happened exactly like I was thinking. Dogecoin, the Monday trade of the day, I thought we'd probably pull back. It's not likely that we're going to continue the breakout after such a big move, and so far that's exactly happening. So let's get back to today's, which is MKR. Okay, so we're looking at the daily chart on MKR, and you can see here we got all this blue. So we were sideways, 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 sideways. We did break out here on April 1st, but then we went sideways again. But we really broke out April 12th, and that set up this big move on April 15th. We pulled back because the patterns always break out, pull back, and then we had this big breakout today. So we're making new highs. We took out the high from April 15th. You can see right now we're kind of pulling back a little bit. But overall, I think we could have more upside on MKR. Now if we go back in the past here, we can see we had some nice breakouts. January 3rd, we were sideways in blue, we broke out here, good signals. We went sideways again, we broke out here, February 2nd. So we're signaling nice for these entry breakouts. The pattern is really looking like we could have more upside on this one. So let's take a look at some other time frames. We'll start with the weekly. It's important to look at the high time frames. Start with the high time frames and then look at the low. So I could look at monthlies, weeklies. I usually start with the daily, then go up, and then go down to a 4-hour, a 1-hour, and sometimes even a 15 and even smaller. So here we're looking at the weekly, and you can see last week, big breakout, we were sideways, and then a continuation this week. So if you look at the pattern going back to January, we get this big breakout, sideways, another breakout, sideways, breakout, breakout. These moves are pretty similar. So what I mean by that is this breakout from January to the highs here are pretty similar to the breakout from here to the highs of today. So you got to kind of gauge the move here, meaning price is always going to move in similar patterns. So if you estimate what this move is, you're probably going to get a similar move before a pullback. So looking at this right now, we're pulling back 5,000. We're always going to look at the solid, most important whole numbers that are closest. So clearly 5,000 is quite close. You can see we had resistance at the 3,000 mark right in here in early February. We hit 3,000 and pulled back, and then we finally busted through 3,000. So 3,000 is support, 5,000 is the next key level. And now let's take a look at some smaller time frames like 4-hour. And you can just see here sideways breaking out today, looking strong. And we can see though that this bit of resistance at around 4,400. Overall, I think there could be more upside on this one. It is the trade of the day. I think there's more upside here. Is it going to take out 5,000 this week, for example? That's impossible to say. Let's bring this down to a 1-hour chart. Okay, so here's the 1-hour chart. You can see we were blue and sideways, really set up nicely at 5, my time at least, for the signal. And overall, right now we're just pulling back a little bit, which is normal. It's normal to pull back. You're not just going to keep going up and up and up. You're always going to pull back, set up, and then set up either for the next leg up, or we change trends and we start dropping. All right, back to the daily chart. Okay, so here's the daily chart. So you can see this pattern here: big breakout day, pull back. Breakout day, pattern is we might pull back. So we got to look for the support levels. And whenever you have a big breakout candle like this, it's best to draw a line through roughly the center of the highs and the lows. And you can see that's around 37.80. And that's where we had resistance going back to the 15th and the 16th. That's where price dropped. So that's going to be the support level. We could pull back, but we got to hold that level, because if we break below that level, then this is going to start coming down. So overall, I like the upside on MKR. 5,000 is definitely doable, but I think we might pull back before we set up. But this is definitely the trade of the day, and I like the chances of it taking out 5,000 later this week or potentially next week. Let's take a look at one more angle, which is the 2-hour chart. All right, so here's the 2-hour chart, and you can see we're breaking above this 3,800 mark, but here we are pulling back. Let's actually take a little zoom in on this. So you can see here's the breakout on the 2-hour chart. We're pulling back right now. Resistance 4,200. We're showing some short-term resistance at 42. 4,000 being the solid whole number. That's going to be the support. So let's see if it can hold 4,000, bust through, potentially hit 5,000 by the end of the week. Okay, so that is the trade of the day. My name is Dan Charles with DailyCoin. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.